Welcome to Leadership Development. I am Dr. Robert L. Wilson Jr. I recently wrote a post titled Resilience, Resourcefulness, and Repositioning for Success. And let me give you a little background on that post. The post was based on me recently hearing phrases, "We're living in uncertain times." That was followed up by, "You never know what's going to happen." How can we have certainty when the times around us are uncertain? How can we have confidence when the things around us seem to be falling apart? Whether we're leading others or ourselves, how do we get unstuck and move forward? These were a few things that I have been pondering based on several interactions that I had. How do we maintain stability when so many systems around us display their instability? These questions are impacted by the filters in which we view life, circumstances, and situations. Feelings of being unstuck or uncertain are based on our state. These feelings are indications of our state, and we are usually unresourceful in these states. Being totally transparent, how do we not let everything going on outside of us impact us on the inside? What happens when you've done all you could do? What we can do is we can intentionally build our resilience, develop our resourcefulness, and strategically reposition ourselves for success. This prompted me to do a four-part series discussing resilience, resourcefulness, and repositioning for success for personal, professional, leadership, and organizational development. Today, I will discuss the second part of the series. I will focus on leadership development regarding resilience, resourcefulness, and repositioning for success. As we talk about resilience, resourcefulness, and repositioning for success, the first area we want to dive into is talking about resilience. Two main areas is resources and mindset. According to Dr. Unger, who does a lot of work on resilience, two important or critical elements of resilience is having resources, either individual or collective, and the mindset of the individual or group of individuals. Basically, what they're thinking and how they're thinking. Having access to resources can help people to pivot, grow, adapt, and be resilient because they have the things necessary to assist them in the process of being resilient. What and how you think is powerful because a positive mindset gives individuals or groups the ability to shift their perception. And what you think also allows you to be resilient in a variety of ways, navigating life circumstances and situations and your encounters and how you experience them. So, how does a leader or a leadership team build resilience within themselves as well as those they serve? Based on the definition and the components necessary to build resilience from Dr. Unger's uh, perspective, it's critical that leaders have resources for themselves and as a leadership team for the leadership team, but also having resources for those they serve. The next part of this is, in order to talk about building resilience, what mindset does a leader need to adopt to be an effective leader with a positive influence and impact? A great example of this is mindfulness leadership. According to the Institute for mindfulness leadership builds resiliency, increases creativity, enhances focus, and embodies greater compassion. And that mindset and awareness allows leaders to be more present in the moment, thus becoming more resilient themselves, but also building resilience amongst those they lead. As we continue our conversation on resilience, resourcefulness, and repositioning for success, as we talk about leadership development, we now want to talk about resourcefulness, the resourcefulness of a leader. Here we want to focus on the states, the ability, the capacity, the mindset, the skill set, and the tool set of the leader, but also how a leader or leadership team incorporates these into their leadership strategies and practices. Resourcefulness is not based on having resources, but has to do more with the resourcefulness of the leader and those that they serve. Part of that is about the state that the leader or the individuals that they serve are in, such as being in a positive state or what we like to call a resourceful state, which allows them to be more productive versus being in a negative state or an unresourceful or stuck state, which leads to lack of productivity. So, one, when you talk about states and being in a positive state, is about creativity and productivity. A negative state is unresourceful and it's a lack of productivity and a lack of creativity. The next area is the ability. A leader's ability and skills to be resourceful by shifting their states to better serve them, but also as a leader, how they show up for the people that they serve and helping add value and extract value from those they serve so that they can show up as the best versions of themselves as well. We also talk about here in terms of resourcefulness of leaders, a leader's capacity, enhancing and maximizing their inner resources, their ability to shift their perception, their ability to, and this goes into the next part of it, expanding their mindset, expanding their way of thinking, changing their results, changing their outcomes. So their capacity is their ability to maximize their inner resources. And then they go into their mindset, which is expanding their way of thinking to change their results. Then they move into their skill set. What skills do they have in order to get the results that they want to get or the results that they need to get for those that they serve? How they need to show up as a leader for the people that they serve. And then also having a tool set, having tools and resources to actually be more resourceful. This is a unique space because it first applies to the leader individually or the leadership team individually, then it translates to those they serve both individually and collectively. The state's ability, capacity, mindset, skill set, and tool set impacts how leaders show up to lead and also their leadership practices and effectiveness. Now, as we continue our conversation on resilience, resourcefulness, and repositioning for success, now let's focus on repositioning, focusing on learning, unlearning, and relearning. Repositioning is all about how we use information, learning new information, unlearning old information that no longer serves us, and relearning information to repurpose how we use it to be more effective and efficient in how that information is applied. This is about how leaders are using creative and innovative ways to share and communicate information and strategies within themselves and to others. This brings into account internal and external communication skills. This can be seen in leadership education, development, and training. Also, effective leaders are flexible and demonstrate agility in a holistic approach to leadership by learning, unlearning, and relearning on a continuous basis to show up as the best version of themselves for their success as a leader, but also their success in their leadership practices and effectiveness and results as a leader. Now that we talked about resilience, resourcefulness, and repositioning for success in the area of leadership development, let's talk about implementation and putting this information into practice. I'll use myself in the work I do to assist with understanding how implementation works and can be effective. I provide training that focuses on self awareness, self education, and self mastery. This helps leaders and those they serve. I'll also connect it to mindfulness leadership, which helps build individual and collective resilience and resourcefulness of leaders and those they serve intentionally and strategically by becoming more aware and more in tune and more present of themselves, how they lead, and what those they lead may need in order to be more efficient and effective in their leadership practices and strategies. I also provide tools and resources that help leaders focus on the inside to get the results on the outside, such as leadership intelligence and leadership wellness journals, progress trackers, books. All these tools and resources help leaders and leadership teams address their ability and capacity to enhance their skill set, shift their mindset, and use their tool set more effectively to navigate their space as a leader and also the space of leading others, such as communication and conflict resolution skills. I also provide coaching and mentoring as a contract service or a service to develop programs for organizations, for leaders or leadership teams. I also provide consulting, and I tailor that consulting to meet the training, education, and development needs of the leader or the leadership team. That's just a good synopsis of how resilience, resourcefulness, and repositioning can be implemented in the area of leadership development. For additional information, please contact us. You can reach me at robert@wilsongos.com. For Robert Wilson Consulting and Wilson Global Outreach Solutions, you can reach us at wilsongos.com. For the Academy, Global Solutions Education and Training Academy, and the author website where you can identify and locate my books.